So here's what we know is a lock, and you talked about the depth of this receiver class, is the big three.
Yeah.
And we can't. It's hard to talk about the quarterbacks and where they're going to land after the top four, that is, or even after the top three, because starting at 4 with Arizona, even though Jim Harbaugh likes to say it feels like I got the number 1 pick, like Arizona doesn't need picks. Monty Osborne can trade down if he just wants to get greedy, but like he's staring at what some would say the best player in the draft, regardless of position. It's like, where do you see the big 3 receivers landing when the dust settles, as in Marvin Harrison, Malik Nabers, and Rome Odunze?
I'd argue Arizona's in the best position in the draft because they're sitting there and they don't need to necessarily move. They can get an absolute, premium talent in Marvin Harrison Jr., who's as complete a prospect as you can ultimately be. Like even detractors who grumble about him not engaging in the draft process are like, well, whatever. Like he's going to show up and be a great wide receiver anyway, so let's not worry about that. And so, he can stay, he can trade out, and I think, as he did last year, I think Monty he'll go ahead and sit back and go, let's just kind of see how this unfolds. And I'm going to get more on the clock. If I'm going to trade, I'm going to get more on the clock than I would if I do it beforehand, especially after the first 3, quarterbacks come off the board. And so, I think there's the element of them being able to take that best player, or I would not rule this out. He's also in position to move back a little bit if someone gets skittish about, someone really falls in love with Joel. I've heard some people say, hey, maybe he's not, the clear-cut number 1 tackle, whatever. But I mean, he's still there to offer the pick to other teams as well, not just quarterback teams, because of, as you said, Harbaugh sitting at 5 and feeling like he has the first pick in the draft. I'll take an offensive lineman. I'll take a wide receiver. I'll take the best. Like he's like open for business in every which way you can be. I think those wide receivers, though, it's such a luxury to have a Malik Nabers, who some people are like, I like him better than Marvin when I watch some of the things he does. I think he looks a little bit like Odell Beckham Jr. And then Rome Odunze, who I kid you not. I think I have not heard a single team say a bad thing about the guy. Like they love his athletic profile, the way he ran, every interview that he's done. I think he's just he's this gravitational locker room guy. So that top 3 those receivers are so freaking premium. And man, if there's anything we're guessing later, as you talked about with the quarterbacks, where there's some guys are going to bust. I'm curious if we're like, wow, look at these quarterbacks that got taken ahead of Neighbors or got taken ahead of, and we're like, what are people thinking?
Yeah. No, this gonna be fun, man.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.